Welcome everyone to a new video for the Brave Dojo. In this case, I'm gonna present a PvE aspect of Evil Line, which is the Abyssals. For me, that's one of the best, if not the best way to make ISK. At least if you take it as a sense of how much valuable is your time, okay? Because of course you can go mine, you're gonna make a lot of ISK. The issue is you're gonna need to spend a lot of hours, okay? Like a lot. With Abyssals, I feel is one of the best methods to maximize ISK per hour. So without further ado, what I'm gonna do today is I'm gonna explain in a quick way what are Abyssals, what types of those are, and later on I'm gonna make a run with my own account in a tier 5 Abyssal, so you can kinda see what it is about, how you do it on a higher tier level, and mainly to get a grasp on what the Abyssals are about. So beforehand, I want to show this web page. This tool and another one that I will show later on are very important. This tool contains everything from the loot table of all the things you can get to you can see here what ships are more preferred for the player base. Gila is basically the king of the Abyssals, okay? You cannot go wrong. If you're new to the game, you come with a mindset of I wanna grind ISK. Well, like for example, I started playing 2 months ago. Okay, I've been only playing this for 2 months, and I said, okay, like I know myself. I know first I'm gonna be pumped. I will want to put hours in. I will want to grind. But that feeling, the longer you play, it fades away. Okay, so I'm using this time that I know I'm motivated to make the most of my account, and then just chill on what I want to do is mainly PvP. Okay, so my idea is I started playing, I grinded for the Punisher feat, and then I went for the Gila. Okay, this Gila cruiser is the king of Abyssals, and this is what I'm using currently. So going back to the topic, okay, look, I'd recommend you to come to this webpage, okay, and here you can choose. Here you have all the weathers of each filament and the different tiers, okay, from tier 0 to tier 6, okay. Dark, electrical, exotic, firestorm, gamma, okay. Those weathers impact your gameplay quite a lot, okay. So they have two things. First, they have a resistance debuff, okay, meaning if you're 50% on all of resistances, you might one of those is gonna drop depending on the filament you choose. And the second one is another personal debuff, like for example electrical, you get a cap region boost, which is good, so you don't get out of capacitor. The exotic one is almost, I don't, wait, let me check. I think I can check here, or at least they should be here. Enhanced scan resolution, that doesn't bother us at all, okay, it's like, doesn't matter. If we check, let's see, another one. Electrical already said. Let's check dark, for example. Where is it? Enhanced chip velocity, but you get the debuff. Well, where you get reduced weapon ranges. Okay, so this filament is usually very cheap because it's hard to find feats that work with them. Okay. So the important thing is you need to realize you really need to focus your feat towards one filament, okay? If you're doing, for example, exotics, as I am, you want to make sure all your damage sources are kinetic damage, because the NPCs inside those filaments are gonna be way lower in that resistance. So where else? Okay, here you basically select the type of abyssal filament you want and the tier of it, okay? So if you're completely new, okay, I'd recommend you go first with tier 0s with wait, okay, let me see. Punishers, okay, Punishers are very good to start with, okay? So basically you come here, you check all of it, okay, it gives you an estimate price, then you just go export, you copy all of this, and you just use this function here. What is it? Import from clipboard. Then you can see if you have all the required skills to use it, and so forth and so on. Okay, so that's very helpful. Okay, my suggestions on how to do these things, and I will prove them later with my run. Main things you need to learn is what types of enemies there are. Okay, that's extremely important. It's almost 80%. If you die and you have a feed taken from this web page, you have the same values. For example, well, this one has no ammo, okay, but you have the same EHP, you have the same DPS, so forth, so on. If you die several times, it's mostly to your manually piloting skill and your way that you prioritize that room, okay? When you enter on a room, you need to know what you're gonna do depending on the enemies you face, okay? So, another good place, Abyssal Lurkers, okay? Here is that's in an in-game chat. I recommend you join here. You can make questions, you can ask people. Then on their MODT, which is here, you have several feeds, starter feeds, tier 1s. Okay, this is very useful information. You even have information about the enemies. Like, it's a good place to join in order to learn about Abyssals. And if you have questions, there's always people here who are willing to answer those. So, we're gonna make the example run. Okay, this is my character. Let me go. Okay, for my feed, she ran G5s. I need to use some boosters. Okay, so right now it's gonna be RNG. Okay, perfect. I got no penalty. We're gonna pop those. We're gonna grab our ship. Okay, so this is important too. Okay, these filaments, okay, can be done by 3 types of ships: frigates, destroyers, and cruisers. If you're going on a frigate, you're gonna get 3 times the loot of the room, but you need 3 filaments. Frigates are the most profitable ship. The issue is the higher you get in tier. Wait, I'm gonna show you. Let me see if I find it quickly. It should be around here somewhere, where you can exactly see. Oh, where is it? Where is it? Give me 1 second. Okay, perfect. It's here. Okay, so tier 0, are the tiers of the filaments. This is the average loot you can get. Okay, so for example, let's use tier 3 because you can see it more clearly. The frigate median loot is 34.06 versus a cruiser which is 12.47. That means the amount of value you get is way higher on a frigate, okay? But you're way weaker compared to a cruiser. So my recommendation is start on tier 0, move to tier 1 frigates, stay on tier 2-1 frigates while you're training for a cruiser, and then you go to tier 4. Why? Doing tier 3 on a frigate is, I'd say, is impossible, okay? You can make an extremely expensive feat and it might work, but you're gonna get a cheaper cruiser that can run those, and you're just losing 2 points on the amount of loot value you're getting, okay? And then that cruiser scales into this. The reason there's frigates, frigate here, is because you can enter as a filament with up to 3 people, like yourself and 2 more people. Thus making tier 6 with a 3 people frigate setup workable. But then again, you're gonna have to make sure the loot is going to the 3 people. So at the end, above tier 4, if you're going solo, you're gonna use a cruiser most of the times. Okay, so here, I took the boosters, as we can see here. Okay, and this is my ship. Okay, nanite-based missiles, a pack rat. This is more advanced. Okay, another thing. Inside the room, there's the main cache where like almost all the loot is contained, and then there's extra ones around the map that you can destroy. Until you reach tier 4, don't even bother with the extra ones. You're better off just rushing through the room, just grabbing the main cache and repeating. Okay, you're gonna make more ISK per hour that way than just grabbing everything on the room. Until you reach tier 4. At tier 4 is where people say it's like the break-even point, where if you want you can do it, but if you skip it's fine. Above tier 5 and tier 6, yeah, you grab everything you can on the room. So we're gonna make sure our setup is ready. Okay, we have missiles. I'm gonna need these ones. Okay, and I'm gonna bring this booster. I'm gonna pop this because I have no current booster going on. Okay. So this is it. We make sure our feed is properly made. Okay, yeah, everything's up. And then repair. Okay. Wait, might forgot something. Yeah, without filaments, it's gonna be hard to do something. Okay, let's go. So, suggestions, be careful. People, your... Okay, wait. Your filament, okay, when you open one, it shows on this scan, okay? If there's someone nearby, at least at this distance, and they scan you, they can see the vessel and they can warp to there. So when you leave, well, you're probably getting killed. So make sure there's no enemies, no neutrals in the system, okay? I'd recommend look for very huge systems, warp to a point, make a middle point, make a bookmark on the middle of the space where there's nothing that the enemy can warp to, okay, like this one, you see, there's literally nothing. And look, the minimum distance is 18.1 AU, so if someone comes into a gate and use, well, even to the closest location, which is this star, and they use this scan, they can, I won't be shown because the range is shorter, okay, so this is important, this is an important tip. Okay, so we're gonna go here. I have 3 filaments, but I'm only gonna use 1 because I'm on a cruiser. If you're on a frigate, you're gonna burn 3 filaments to get in, and in a destroyer 2. So we go here, and we go in. More important stuff. Right now, okay, you see, this is the room, okay? You wanna make sure you can detect what's types. Okay, I already know the names because I've been doing them a lot, okay? But there, in the NPCs, there's usually a name which means something. For example, Illuminator, okay? If you see all those names are the same, that what matters is the second word, okay? So dissipators and null chargers are gonna note me, and that's the main threat for my feed, okay? If I run out of capacitor, I'm basically dead. So I wanna make sure those ones die first. Then for my feed, because this depends on each feed and on the filament, because for example, if you're an electric, you get a recharge speed bonus on the capacitor. So perhaps, depending on your feed, it's not as necessary to focus neutrals as it might be webbers, tanglers, you know? So we're killing those. This is a drone boat feed mainly, like my missiles barely do any damage compared to the drones, and we're gonna be just killing them, okay? So once those are done, this one is an L2. Okay, do you see the distance? I'm not gonna be able to pick many extra caches on this room because the confusers. Those ships, they apply a debuff to my missile range. If you see I carry 3 light, well, 1 second. Yes. If you see I carry 3 light missiles and 1 heavy. The heavy one is just to pop the extra cans, okay? Let's see, where is this one? This one is here, 62 kilometers. They are usually far away. This one is 43 kilometers. That one I might be able to pick it up. So this one I'm just gonna forget, it's not worth. Like, maybe there's 10 mil east on it, but I'm not bothering with it. So this one here is the main cache. Okay, it's usually always next to the transfer conduit, okay, which is what you use to move from room to room. This will only open once all the NPCs are dead, so that's something. So we're gonna pop it up. Okay, we're gonna destroy it, and then we're moving towards the transfer. We're gonna move there, and we're gonna drop our pack rat. That's an item that drags the loot towards you. It's very useful once you get to higher tier abyssals. We're gonna come here, we launch. Make sure you don't forget the thing if you're using it at some point, okay? If you don't grab it, if you don't scoop it, it's gonna stay on the room and you're gonna lose it. Okay, so the thing is there. Now I'm interested in this extra cache. Where is it? Okay, it's there. What's my missile range? is still very short. Like my on the heavy missiles are like 52 kilometers, but because of the debuffs that these ships are applying, it's way shorter. So we're just gonna kill them. So this is what I talked before about knowing what to prioritize. These ships are annoying, but they're not gonna get me killed, you know, because all they are doing is making my missiles have lower range. But I'm mainly a drone boat. But the dissipators, if I let them run and they cap me out, then I'm dead. Because this feat works with a multi-spectrum shield hardener, which reduces the incoming damage, and 2 shield boosters, which regen my shield. If I run out of capacitor, I'm basically dead. So, what do I know with this feat? I need to target those types of ships. If I get neutered, I die, so my priority are neuters. Then, what else do I need to prioritize? Tanglers, weavers. Why? Because they tend to focus your drones. And more than once, like a few days ago, I died 3 times in a row, losing almost 2 billion ISK in ships due to not focusing the weavers. They tangle, they web your drones, they fall a lot behind, and they don't kill the enemy ships in time. So these is things you're gonna have to learn. Okay, 32 kilometers. I need 2 salvos to pop that can there. So we're gonna do it. This is an extremely easy room for this feat, okay? Like, there's no way I die here. Like, okay, maybe if I go AFK, I will die, but like, there's really nothing that matters in here. These ships don't deal enough DPS to break even one of my reps. The debuffs that I got in here are not a threat to me, so I'm just gonna keep killing them. Now I'm gonna orbit my pack rat because it's gonna be dragging this. As you can see, this was here, it's getting dragged to the pack rat. And we're gonna just keep killing him. Okay, we're gonna reload everything and we're gonna stop all of this. Why? You don't know what's coming on the next room, okay? And if your main threat, if your main threat are the neuters, you want to make sure you enter the next room with as much capacitor as you can, just in case. You never know. So there's 2 left. In tier 5, it usually takes me 15 to... Okay, I forgot to mention this, which is quite important. You have a maximum 20-minute timer to make the runs. If you stay longer, you die. Okay, there's no way out of there. So you gotta make sure you make them in 20 minutes. Okay, loot, 30 million total. This wasn't a huge pool, but it isn't bad. Only with this, I already paid, I already made money, because the filament, it's like 23 million to have this. And I still have 2 more runs. So we're gonna grab all of this, and then we're gonna scoop our pack rat. We're gonna approach the gate, and we're gonna recall our drones. So he was saying, you have a 20-minute timer to make the room. There's room that take more time or less time, okay? So on those web pages that I shared is where you can see the minimum DPS that is recommended for each tier, and you should stick to it and even just aim twice as many DPS. So next room. Okay, this is another easy room, okay, and I spawn with 2. So I'm gonna focus this because it's next to me. I'm gonna pop those 2 cans because I know this room is gonna be easy. Okay, I'm not even gonna. I'm just gonna run straight to the transfer conduit, because then once I reach there, I can drop my forgot to drop my drones. Once I reach there, I can drop the pack rat and I can start grabbing the loot. So, as you can see here, okay, this says because on each filament there's not a default range on how big the penalty is going to be. In this case, the kinetic resistance penalty is at the maximum. For me, that's good. Almost there's very few NPCs that deal kinetic damage, which means all those NPCs have the kinetic resistance reduced, which makes me deal a lot of way more damage than you will usually do. These don't deal any damage, to be honest. in this room, Kikimoras are way more of a threat than the Drekavax. Like, they're hitting me for 200, 100 damage. Only one shield booster repairs me for 300 every 3 seconds. Like, this is very chill one. So we're approaching the conduit. Okay. We're gonna get here. We're gonna get close. We have all the here. You can see all the loot standing. I'm gonna come here. Oops. Here. Launch. And then we're just gonna orbit. Don't fool yourself. Okay. I'm getting lucky with the rooms. These are easy ones. I don't need to bother much. I can almost play without thinking. But I die in some rooms. Okay. Like, just think that usually your feats are gonna be unkillable in 90% of the rooms. But there's those 1 or 2 rooms when you get there where you need to use all your brain power and actually play it goal, otherwise you're dying. Like, it's just like that. Because there's rooms with drones like on a cruiser, they barely deal any damage to me. Like this one, for example, Dracovax, like look at them. They are dying. I'm 100% almost on everything. My cap is not in any danger. So I'm just chilling right here. I'm just getting freeze basically. But then there's rooms where you die. For example, for me, I struggle a lot on the rooms where there's like 5 starving bedmags. Okay? Each one notes you for 200 per cycle, which means 5 of them in one cycle take 1k of your capacitor. If you don't manage to kill them fast enough, in 4 cycles you're out, and then you die, because they deal a lot of damage to you. So, one more to go, and we're gonna be done in this room, and then we're gonna jump into the next one. You have still 10 minutes left. It's plenty. It's more than enough. So let's see what we got. Okay, 36 million plus the 20. I don't remember, like 27. Let's say 35 and 35. That's 60 million. We already made 60 million in 10 minutes. Okay, we're gonna scoop this. We're coming here. That's that. We're calling the drones. We're gonna reload. Stop this so we get a bit of an extra amount of capacitor. And once they are there, we're jumping to the final room. It doesn't matter. Like, it's not like the third room is harder than the first one. No, it's completely RNG on what you're getting. So let's see. Okay, and another free room. Okay, so that's it. We're not dying on this one. We got lucky. So we're gonna pop these cans. We're gonna focus the Kikimoras, just because none of the, like, I'm not dying here. I can literally stand still with the 2 boosters on, and I'm not gonna take any lethal damage. There's not enough DPS in this room to kill me. It's just that simple. But Kikimoras, those ones ghosting reduce my drone my missile range, which is annoying if I wanna pop some extra cans. So I wanna get rid of those. So I make sure I don't need to get too close in distance to the extraction nodes. So we're gonna do the same, approach the origin conduit. Now, what I'm doing, okay, it's not a good idea to always run towards the origin conduit. You need to know what you're facing, and this is something you're gonna learn the longer you do Abyssals and the more times you die, okay? If, for example, I'm on a frigate, like a Punisher, or like a Retribution, and I'm on a room where there's like 2 knights, which is a ship that you didn't see here, I'm not running on a straight line, because if I do, I'm dead. Those ships will web, naut, and one-shot you. Okay, so you need to be careful, and as I said, learn what you're fighting against. That's the most important thing. Okay, these rooms, this wasn't the best example, because I didn't have to prioritize any enemies except for the room number 1. Okay, so you need to learn the names, you need to know exactly what enemy ship does. We're just gonna keep, oh, yeah, that's I kinda trolled here, okay. I was like, why I'm so slow? No wonder if I'm not using. I'm gonna do something different. I'm gonna optimize my time. I'm gonna drop the pack right here so it can start gathering things. Yeah, so far so good. Like, there's not much more to it because we got various rooms. So we're gonna see exactly how much money we made at the end of one. As I said, I don't think this is one of those impressive rooms, but on average, on tier 5, I'm looking at about 300 mil ISK per hour, which is extremely high, to be honest. Like, it's a very good amount of money. It of course depends, because right now, for example, for myself, I'm doing this in order to pay for large scale extractors, which are like 879 million per unit, which is a lot. Just bear in mind, this account is 2 months old, because like I have older account, but I never played, because I don't know, I never end up connecting with it. Okay, in 2 months I have 26 million skill points. Okay, bear in mind, I put real money. Okay, so this is not everything like pure free to play. No, not even close. But a big amount is from that. If you can see, my 30 days income is almost 50 billion ISK. Okay. Yeah, I bought stuff. Yes, I sold stuff. I bought plagues. I sold plagues for ISK. But I'd say from this, probably from like 25 to 30 billion is from Abyssal runs. I can make in a day. Okay, it depends, because if it's a day I have nothing to do and I can grind like 7 hours of this, you like in T5 runs in 6 to 7 hours you can pay for your whole month of Omega, because you're gonna make 2 billion to 3 billion ISK. So technically, if you only one day in the month you grind the Abyssals, you already paid for your Omega. Or you can do it the more sane way, which is 1 hour during 1 week, and then you have your Omega. Okay, this is why I kinda put real money, because I said, like, I made some calculations and I said, okay, I might put this money right now at the start of the game, but on the long run I'm gonna save more, because now I know in 1 day of grind I can pay for my Omega, and it's really not that hard. The good thing is, this thing is not like boring. For example, I find mining boring. It's just like, what am I doing? I'm sitting there. I don't need to use my brain unless some enemy player comes in. So it's just really chill. But in here you need to pay attention. If you don't pay attention, you're gonna die. Okay, wait. Grabbing this one. So we're gonna leave now. This is the last room with 4 minutes left. Okay, grabbing this, we're going to the origin conduit. So, how much money did we make? And this room was on the lower end. Okay, this filament wasn't really that huge. So we made 50 millions in there. We made 14 millions in there, so we're at 65, let's say. Then we made here 30 million more, so we're at 78 million. Then this, like 82 million. I'd say 85 million. Okay, we made 85 million. It's not huge, but it's not bad, because it was 15 minutes, more or less. Okay, 15 minutes, 80 million. Like, in 1 hour, you're sitting at 300 million. Like, as I said, I think this is one of the best ways to make ISK. I think my numbers show that. Okay, like I don't know. I will need to calculate it, but this number, there's real money in here. Like, I bought plagues, I sold for ISK, etc. But yeah, like maybe 25 billion. Like, maybe 25 billion is just pure Abyssal rooms. So this is gonna be it. I don't have much more to say, at least on this one. Okay, because then further videos will be making, for example, like runs on how to run tier 0 rooms, how to make tier 1s, how to make tier 5 with more detail, trying to find those hard rooms where I die, that type of thing. Okay, but for now this is gonna be it. Thank you and stay brave.